The best expansion that nobody plays? Was listening to players a mistake? Did we kill World of Warcraft? Us, personally?
Yes.
Damn.
Definitely.
And now we need a soundboard that says, congratulations, you played yourself. Who knows? Who knows? Well, let's actually get into this. So, of course, THD, one of the main characters of World of Warcraft, THD, tweeted, Dragonflight is the best expansion no one ever plays. And certainly...
time riffs, you loser, anyway.
That was an interesting one. Because it's getting to that idea of like, right, how could it be, dear friends, that many points in the wow, good now bingo have been ticked, right? Many of the things were like, we want this to change. There we go. Changed. Good. And it's better now. Why has nobody came back? Or that's the sentiment. Now, who...
That's not the problem here. Problem isn't
And
to
that's
come
the
back
thing.
now.
Well, there's a few things. Because, like, who hears a new token and stone-based upgrade system? I'm coming back!
Yes.
No, people say, it's a Varian! Look at him! He just did a backflip, killed a mech, and then Troy Baker made his head explode! Yeah!
Those were different cinematics, but yes.
Those were different cinematics. Okay, my point is, there's a difference between retention, because retention is going to most clearly correlate with how much do you give people reasons to piss off based on friction and stuff not landing. Initial, what actually gets you players, that's about how marketable is your concept. Like, how far does your marketing reach? Because take that Warlords of Draenor cinematic. Anyone who, I mean, other than the people who are like, Lord of the Rings, what's that goofy? I was trying to think of a jock character, and instead I just blue screen. There are some people out there who just think Lord of the Rings is lame. Terrible. But like, other than the people who are just like, that's not a human, I don't understand. Other than them, everyone's going to see the Warlords of Draenor cinematic and think, that's pretty cool. I like freedom and muscles. People are going to see the Legion one. They'll be like, what's this? Big dad thoughts? Big dad thoughts? Big space, or big, flying boat, and then a big battle scene. They're going to see all these things and think they're really cool. Did it matter that Warlords of Draenor had a lot of fundamental design problems to its initial 10 million peak? No. If Warlords of Draenor had have had the player retention of Dragonflight, then the player retention of Warlords of Draenor that was so bad that it forced Blizzard to stop sharing subscriber numbers wouldn't have happened. So, I think fundamentally that this is people not enjoying things. Because, like, is THD perhaps onto something that Dragonflight doesn't have the biggest player counts in the world? Yes, he is. However, the reasoning is the bit that's important to talk about. And the reasoning is not because, oh, the game's not played, and that's because instead of doing wacky Blizzard stuff, they instead ticked a bunch of fan requests. Now, there could be something to that. You could say that being focused on pleasing the fans, the existing fans that you have, that will only be serving your current audience and not doing things that will get you a new audience, that it could be a defensive play, right? That it could be fear-based decision-making of, oh no, we'll do the thing like this because, we do it like that, they'll be angry at us. And, of course, take, you know what? I've never watched a game of American football in my life, but I know 40% of you are American, so you probably have. Do you want a quarterback who is... I don't even really know what a quarterback does, other than they do the big run. They do the big run good at the end, after all the butt pattings happened. I think that's how American football plays. But, like, do you want someone who is going to have a bit of fear and always play defensively? Or do you want the, like... the person who's just going to go and, like, I've seen the shot, I take the shot. You're kind of, Legion was an example of that. It's like, this is a shot, I'm going to take it. And Legion, in spite of all of its problems, it took the right shot. And to now move it away from that into, say, Gaelic football, it kicked the ball hard enough to take its shot. I can't believe I'm using sports analogies. I couldn't think of a food one in time, I'm sorry.
He's a changed man using these analogies. Yeah, it's really difficult to run something like this because of all of those different fears and problems you have. where it's like, what do you do?
What?
And that's it. That's going to be in every day.
What did it?
Going,
I guess.
Ian and John Heights sit in rooms together and just go for hours on end.
Here's, I guess, right. So here's the thing. Like Ian comes from a systems design background, stuff like that. Denuzer comes from a lore sort of world building-y background. Your systems design and world building won't get you players. They will keep you players, and they will convert those into fans in the long run.
Which will get you players eventually, because you have evangelists.
But what you need is a coked up madman who likes bicycle. I was about to say bicycles. Basically, you need the sort of energy that just leads to like a big, cool, stupid thing, but also leads to partaking in Azeroth choppers. That's the energy you need.
Yeah.
Hope. It's weird. I don't know. It seems like Mattson, while he maybe didn't have all of the depth in the world, or like maybe wasn't very meticulous in all the world building, there did seem to be a rule of cool thing that guy understood. And it seems like that's maybe the thing that led to him finding a lot of success with the IPs that he spearheaded the creative direction of. I think that's maybe the core lesson here. So it's like, yeah, you know, lore and systems, world building and systems design. Those are not going to sell your expansion. What will sell your expansion is a concept that is big and exciting. And that is not, because like even look at the cinematic of Shadowlands. To a lot of people, that was still big and exciting.
It was obscenely cool.
It was obscenely cool.
Outside of the fact that Sylvanas absolutely, the Bolvar absolutely jobbed and definitely should not have went down like such a bitch. Other than that,
see, you know what the funny thing was?
Pretty hype.
Me and you, even when that was happening, we were both thinking like, what the hell is this? Because like we knew what Death Magic Capital D was doing, and that's why the Lich King was defeated. But we were like, this is lame. Jared was all like, oh, fuck yeah, this is cool. She's speaking them philosophies from those book people. And open a big hole in the sky. Let's go.
Yeah.
So obviously, it totally fucking blew after that. That was a big thing. Got people excited. Battle for Azeroth. It's widely said that the BFA cinematic, which I think is one of their top 3 for sure, and it did well. We know people liked it. Apparently, that's one of the last things that Mattson worked on at Blizzard. So you just kind of think like there is something to the concept. Whereas you look at the Dragonflight one, and it's just smiling and sunshine.
I'm so happy, and we're all friends, unless we're not friends, and then we'll become friends again.
And a tiny bit of Razageth.
Yeah, like the Razageth, and Razageth being like, I guess menacing was pretty like a decent strong opening to parts of this expansion, but it wasn't contextualized in a way that was like, whoa, that's fucking cool and scary. Yeah,
what you needed, right? Because the other cinematics were centered around key places, characters, and points that we knew. So to, Arthas, obvious. Deathwing, he's breaking the places that we know. Oh, look, it's Thousand Needles and a big wall of water. From that, we move on to Pandaria, which was the first big cinematic that got down on happy thumbs from people.
Because it was the Dragonflight cinematic, even if it had fights.
Mm-hmm. Even though, that was great voiceover.
It's like,
I really like it.
I loved it at the time, and I still love it today.
We move on to the next expansion. What is it? One of the most pivotal moments in the whole lore of Warcraft, going harder than they've ever went before. We go to Legion. What is it? Varian and Sylvanas. Big war things. We go to Battle for Azeroth. What is it? Anduin and Sylvanas. Characters that we recognize. Look, it's Gen with high-resolution hair. Okay.
Gen was a fluffy boy.
He was so fluffy. Gen. You then go on to... You even go on to Shadowlands. It is happening atop Icecrown Citadel, one of the most recognizable places in the whole IP. So the only other cinematic that kind of broke the core rules was Mop, and it was the other one that had the sort of muted launch. So here's how you make this cinematic good. We need to find a character that we know that we can tie in to Razageth. ideally who's not a dragon. I don't know if there's some night elf stuff you can pull on that, some primalist stuff. Maybe the primalists have the night they activate their plan and all hell goes down.
Yeah.
And then halfway through the cinematic, as we see these crazy elemental things going on in the same way, like, you know, you render that shamanic. Well, sure, I'll say that. Shamanic, yes. You render that shamanic sort of magic in the same way that Blizzard's able to with their cinematics. And then, you know, halfway through, that is when Razageth, like, breaks through the sky and does some crazy shit. And it happens in a locale that we know.
Yeah.
That is how you make people think, oh, whoa! Instead of just, look, it's a smiling dwarf!
Here's a quick version. A quick version is, and this is going to be cheesy, because it's always cheesy, because cheesy works. There's a Coraleth, right? Remember Coraleth? Probably not.
Oh, we
the
should
Iron
have had so
Plains.
much more Coraleth
right?
content.
Coraleth, a bald, scarred night elf who's a shaman for some reason. That's interesting. That's not a thing that happens. That's immediately like intriguing in a way. Maybe not recognizable, but intriguing. You have her stand there with a totem. You have a flashback to Razageth, like giving her the totem or something, or like empowering the totem or something. She sticks a totem on a cliff overlooking Valdrakken. She gives a speech going about all anti-Titan stuff, all like, fuck the dragons, fuck this. It's like, you know, all the suffering that the Night Elves went through, all the burning of
Flashback to
Eldershill.
her getting her scars.
Yeah, flashback to her getting her scars. Flash forward, you see like Alex Strauss fly past or something, and she just, she activates the totem. There's this massive bolt of lightning. It hits the side of like the Valdrakken tower, and it just fucking explodes. And it's like, it's not like massively destroyed, but it is like a statement. It is like, what if the Primalists did 9/11? That's the vibes you want.
You want to go that hard.
Yeah, you want the Primalists did 9/11, and they told you why they were doing it, and you were like, fuck, they've got a point. But it was based in the recognizable Coraleth with the scars, with the like the flashback to like burning, all that stuff. Like, this world is too fucked. We need to do something about it.
I'm just trying to
the
think.
People in charge are dog shit. Rebellion. Violent rebellion. No. And then you have the, like, Razageth gives you the totem, and you can see Razageth been mental and going fucking, you know, the, like, go do a crime kind of shit. You're like, yeah, absolutely. Just go for that.
So in this timeline, number one, two observations. Number one, who says, ladies and gentlemen, we got him, and her, welcome to Matt and Michael, the time-traveling consultants. We're amazing consultants. The only thing is, we can only consult on things that have already happened. Therefore, what we say is useless.
Yeah.
And that is our paid.
Yeah, we're actually just... Yeah.
So I think this idea then of like players coming back to the game, I think we've quite resoundingly, you know, slapped that away.